the U.S. is going to file appeal.
What's up, everybody? I am here with the
So he's still not out, but they say he's a risk to himself, so he can get out.
You've been here for what, 3 days or 4?
3 days.
It's
3 days
not
now,
okay
all the
to
way
keep
from
him
the
in
West
it
Coast.
because of the risk.
Last minute as
Mental
well.
health. So he'll be on
You've
like
been
house
here,
arrest.
you've
I
been
don't know
energetic,
if he's
you've
going to
been
be able to leave
amazing, and you've also been at the
or
Assange
what. But I don't know what
every
is
day
the
as
U.S.
well.
going to appeal on because the
First of
judge
all,
agreed with
being
their
here,
whole freaking case.
They let them out, get better, and then they
I love to see it. I love this.
Yeah, I don't know. Because, yeah.
You're not really.
so
You don't choose to
so
be
fucked up anyway since day one.
You've been cornered, man. How does it
He
feel?
was not vindicated
Hey,
at all.
it feels good that
just
we
like
have so
they're
much
going
support
to,
out
like,
here,
it's just like a little
specifically from
bare minimum
Niko House,
humanity.
MCSC Network, everyone who's been
want the blood
protesting
on their
here,
hands.
Convo
So
Couch,
this is it. We're going to
Fake
cave in everything
Analysis,
the U.S. says,
you know,
but we
tons
don't
of
want to
people
deal
and
with the
Assange
backlash
actions.
on
And I
our
know that
backs
you
if
know, there's
something
many
happens.
people like all of you
So
watching
that's all it was.
would love to be
I
here,
saw
but
the
can't.
Ecuadorian, I don't know.
But can't be here.
Backpack.
Sorry, we're moving a little bit.
Representing the embassy or whatever said this was
There we go.
There's
just
many
the
people
UK
who wish they could be here right now but can't. So for everyone watching right now, thank you for the
just trying
support
to
from
get
far.
out of it. They
Appreciate
don't
it.
want to be
So you
anymore.
already mentioned the Assange stuff. We got the great news. I mean, it's still like still trying to take it in. Assange will not be extradited. How do you feel about that, man? What did you do? What was your first reaction when you woke up this morning?
Bye.
When I woke up and saw the news about Assange, I thought I was dreaming, and then I turned my phone off, turned it back on. I'm like, nope, this is real. This is real. And I think your tweet, summed it up quite nice. We woke up to a miracle this morning, a miracle that I think no one expected. They're gonna try to fight it. They're gonna appeal the decision, but we got to keep fighting. So free Assange, keep supporting the movement, and for those of you who are in the area but aren't here, turn up at 12 noon at the Department of Justice. We're going to have a little celebration there and keep the pressure on for Assange.
12 noon. Be there.
Yes.
There will be cake and balloons. This is something to be celebrated, and it brings me back to the point of why we're here, which is obviously it's Medicare for all, for vote. Shout out to Jimmy, obviously, who inspired this movement, and shout out to everybody who was able to make it. And I do want to give a special shout out to those who couldn't make it, but I know in your heart you wanted to. Those checks didn't come. Those bills got to get paid. That you obviously don't have health care. So if your life gets put in danger here, we completely understand. But we're fighting for you, so you don't. We understand you can't come out and fight for yourself in this particular way. We're fighting for you. Jackson is fighting for you, and this is how you get what we saw with the Assange. The organizing, the fighting, the uplifting, the constant needling that Steve and Glory and Misty and Andrew and Sleepy, everybody was in the Action for Assange crew, never missing a vigil for 50-something weeks straight. Never missing a vigil. That needling, it's 5% of the population is all you need to get something done. You don't need 50%. You need 5%. You need the amount of people you see out here. You just need them to be really loud and really principled and really consistent. And with what Jackson did, this is going to be known. What we saw the last 2 weeks, this is what's going to be known as the step that set the spark, that lit the fire, that got us Medicare for all. And so, really quick, just for the audience, can you share just some of the stories that you heard this weekend while conducting this?
Yeah, I mean, the story that just made me tear up, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to speak after it, was the story of an organizer who drove up here from a few hours away. His name was Chris. Chris came to the protest today. He said, I'm not a big organizer. I support causes, but I don't usually come out. I don't usually speak. I'm not outspoken. Chris showed up today with a yellow vest on that had plastered all across it his outstanding medical debt bills. He had bills for, $1,200, $600, $300 in the middle of a pandemic. And he says, you know what, I make just above the poverty amount every single year. I work construction, I do landscaping, but I'm here today because of how much this means to me. Those are the stories that get people like all of us out here and keep us fighting. And this effort to fight for Medicare for all, as with all popular movements and revolutions, is about you know, securing low-hanging fruit, grabbing the low-hanging fruit when you can, and continuing to press forward. We may not have gotten the fraud squad, to force the vote, but the fact that we got everyone out here, we drew the attention of tens of thousands of people, if not hundreds of thousands of people. I mean, this was trending all last night on Twitter. That's an achievement that cannot be ignored. So thank you to everyone who's been a part of the movement so far, and I look forward to continuing to build it with all of you.
So my last question, since you brought it up, we saw the fraud squad not only vote for Nancy Pelosi after putting on a show as if they were not going to, and actually, and it cannot be stressed enough, they gave Nancy Pelosi her seat after she lost. That part can't be stressed enough. They gave her her seat. They rewarded her for what seemingly amounted to zero concessions. Not one, not a couple, but zero concessions. Given that we have been told to wait, you know, that's what we've been told. You know, I've seen you have been attacked for having.
Niko, he ain't got the red shoes on today. He got socks on and everything. His ass was cold yesterday.
Like they've been attacking because they said you need to wait to have better speakers. You need to wait for Medicare for all. You need to wait until the Congress wants to support Medicare for all. You need to wait. You need to wait. They didn't even try to convince us that they were moving forward, so that maybe we could wait and then eventually what happened. But even now, Medicare for all doesn't look like an eventuality. So what do you have to say about what we saw yesterday, and then the people who have been saying rely on those officials and wait till their way before we get this healthcare?
Yeah, yesterday was an abomination, and it was a pathetic joke. For someone like AOC who sells t-shirts on her campaign website that say, change takes courage. Where's your fucking courage? You know, where is it? We're looking. We can't find your spine anywhere. You know, you're
I think it's in Pelosi's office.
It's in Pelosi's office. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's pathetic. So, this is why litmus tests are so important. You hear people on the mainstream media say litmus tests are a bad thing. We shouldn't have litmus tests when we're choosing who we're going to select in these Democratic primaries or in Green Party or People's Party primaries for that matter, right? Litmus tests are extremely important. You need to go to the primary debates for the party of your choice and ask these people, not just are you going to support Medicare for all and progressive policies, but are you going to fight for them? And how are you going to fight for them? Are you going to vote for a neoliberal corporatist speaker? Or are you going to challenge that and vote for a progressive and withhold your support for the corporatists? So these are just a few ways you can get involved, but the onus is on us to make a difference. These people up here in these offices that we're standing right in front of, again, they're not going to give us any concessions on a silver platter. We have to be ready to take them from them.
Jackson Hinkle, everybody, make sure you go follow him on Twitter. Just Jackson Hinkle, all one word. Jackson Hinkle, hashtag force to vote. We just finished up day 3, and I imagine over the next several months you'll be seeing a lot more protests just like these. Because obviously healthcare is the major issue being discussed right now. But we have somebody in right now already, or coming in right now, who's already saying they're going to veto healthcare even if it gets put on his desk. They're telling us they're going to, by their picks, they're going to ramp up imperialist actions overseas and seemingly use a lot of those methods even here. We are seeing the undermining of democracy on left and right when we're told we're supposed to trust the system, who can't even give us health care in the middle of a pandemic where they said you have to take your economy because we want to keep you safe. We have to flood your hospitals because we want to keep you safe. We have to keep you locked down from your family. Your loved ones, your grandmothers, your mothers and fathers die by themselves because we want to keep them safe. We have to give Moderna $32 billion because we want to keep them safe. But no, we can't really give you health care. We can't afford that. So, even though we still want to keep you safe.
Now we're going to look at these elections.
We have to continue to organize like this because of people like Jackson who've been able to do so. Thank you so much, Jackson.
Proprietary software, illegal ballot harvesting.
For everybody else, tune in later. We're going to be at the Department of Justice. We're going to show my sign, Jackie.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Kid. Oh, my gosh.
Freedom for Assange.
Okay.
Oh man, shout out to
Okay.
Assange. We're gonna be at the DOJ Department of Justice today at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard if you're in the area. Show up, show out. We got cake coming. There's gonna be balloons there.
Oh my God.
I'm bringing a speaker. We're gonna have some music playing. We're gonna have a good time. This very, very rare. Usually we're gathering, all these progressives, all these leftists, and populists. It's usually a little bleak circumstances. It's like under bleak circumstances. It's usually because we're mad about some shit. It's very rare that we get to all gather with so many different people from across the country, so many fighters from across the country, and finally get to celebrate because we've achieved all the goals that we've been fighting for. So we're going to take that opportunity to celebrate today, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, at the Department of Justice. Assange will not be extradited. Thank you so much. This higher power who keeps coming through and fight for us, exposing the fraud, releasing Assange. Wherever you at, we appreciate you. But I'll tell you this, the primary power that moved everybody in the right direction over the last couple of weeks is you guys. And that's why we need you all.
If I were them,
Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning into that live stream interview on Mikasa live from DC.
That,
We're
the
going to
other
do
thing that
anything
I was
else.
hearing is, oh well, the concession was the